aware that had the war continued, the Nazis were certainly capable to turning the production of soap from human fat into another mass horror. My parents survived the Holocaust. My mother was very sick, and she passed away when she was only 48 years old. On her grave, my father wrote, "A woman of valor." Right behind her grave is a monument of soap. Before I came in Romania to make the movie, I saw that this is a unique monument of soap. But I find that they are all over in Romania. Maybe in other European countries are these monuments. After the war, people found out that a reef actually stood for reine jüdische Fett, which when translated means clean Jewish fat. In our town, there was a big panic. The Jewish community was in a tumult. Everybody was very shocked. I remember my mother and my grandmother crying. Not only Jewish survivors, but other people who used this soap were horrified. To wash your hand, face, and body with soap made from human fat? The thought alone is too terrible. People brought the soap to the main synagogue, where my father was the rabbi. They put the soap in a coffin and made an official burial. According to the Jewish law, a Jewish body or a part of the body has to be buried in the earth. A lot of people followed the procession. At the cemetery, all kinds of people spoke out. Representatives from City Hall, from the Russian Army, from the Communist Party, from the church, and other organizations. Yes, I was here. I feel the horrible sorrow. I remember the expression of my father's face on other people from town who used this soap, an expression of horror and guilt. Some of them cried. My mother refused to come to this burial. It was too much for her. Buchush, a town where in past 80% of population was Jewish. Here for centuries was a place of pilgrim to the Buchush Rebbe. Their grave still now is a place of holiness. On the cemetery, a monument of soap. Here we find a piece of soap engraved in stone with the three letters, Rif. Letters what bring so big sorrow to the tired survivors from Nazi atrocity. How was the feeling of people who buried the soap, made from the fat of their brother and sister? For the survivors, the feeling of this soap on their hand exists still now, can be forgot. The city Râmnicul Sărat, and cemetery a monument of soap. We stop in Odobești, a place known as an ancient producer of wine. I did not expect in this place, no a void of Jewish population, to find in the cemetery a monument of soap. The monument of soap from Bucharest. I live in Bucharest almost 40 years after the war, and I did not know that here is a monument of soap. It's written, here was buried the soap made from the Jewish